Buddy, we are out doing some deliveries, making that money, and hanging out with you. So excited to be here with you. I just picked up a large catering order on DoorDash. It's actually not a large catering order price. It's like $17 for 9 miles, but with how slow it's been this week, I decided I'm not going to be too picky right up front. I want to make sure at least I get the orders rolling. Take an order to make DoorDash happy right away. Welcome to A Side of Hustle. The goal of this channel is to move 10,000 people from stupidly broken to fully free in every area of your life. And we're going to just talk about that tonight and just kind of help you with whatever area you might be stuck in. We focus on 5 main areas: heart, soul, mind, strength, and wallet. So in any of those areas, if you're feeling broken tonight, we just want to be here as a place to just be with you, be an encouragement to you, and maybe even help you take some steps forward. So excited for that. As you come on in, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're going to be here rocking and rolling with you on a Friday night. We're going to go for 3 hours. So we'll start at, call it 6:20. So 6:20 to 9:20, we're going to go for 3 hours on the stream tonight, unless you convince me to do more. So we'll see. We'll see about that, but I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you are doing well. We made it through another week. We're to another weekend. And so just got lots of things going on in life. I've got like a makeshift tent here to keep all these pizzas from Aurelio's Pizza, Chicago-style pizza place. Ridealong, how's it going? So it's like 5 pizzas and breadsticks and wings, and then there's 3 salads. I mean, this is well over $100 worth of food, and there's maybe a 10% hit. Maybe it's like $150 worth of food. It's probably more than that though, honestly, because their pizzas are pretty expensive. But appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. So we're gonna go get this delivered, and so we got about 6 miles to go, so that's not too bad. And the drop-off is going to bring us towards the south end of town. It's a little early for the south end of town usually, but there are still restaurants there. So we are good rolling with that. And I think I'm probably going to either a hotel or something down that way. So we're rocking and rolling. We want to talk about anything that you want to see fixed in your life regarding your heart, your soul, your mind, your strength, your wallet. So heart, basically just kind of talking about just compassion and love for other people, relationships, anything that falls in that. Your soul, your spiritual. So I'm a follower of Jesus, so I kind of work all the spiritual stuff through that lens. Your mind, what are the areas that you need to learn, just grow in your knowledge, skill set. Your strength, physically, what are areas that you need to physically fix in your life, and of course your wallet, financially. So we're going to be talking about all of those things. That's the goal of this channel: move 10,000 people from stupidly broken to fully free in those 5 areas. And so really excited about that. We can kind of talk about whatever you guys want to talk about related to any of those areas. If you've got questions about food delivery, side hustle, other income stuff, or really anything anywhere in between. Of course, sometimes I have to pop out of the car to go do some drop-offs or pickups or whatever, and if I do that, I'm going to leave you guys with a question to ponder, and we're going to kind of maybe work through those areas. Sometimes they're quick, so I won't leave you with a question, but sometimes it's a little bit longer, so we will do that. So hit that like, hit that subscribe. We are rocking and rolling here on a Friday night. We've got a large catering order from DoorDash. It's like $17 for 9 miles. When I took it, we only have about 5 miles to go, so it's not too bad, and the order was basically ready. They were wrapping up a couple of things. I've got an upside down catering bag to keep the rest of the pizzas in that didn't fit in the pizza bag. I am doing well, Lisa. I hope you are doing well as well. I did delivery through about noon today. 1 small catering order, and had 1 decent Instacart this morning. It was relatively slow, but it's all right. We're going to be at it here on a Friday night, seeing what we can do, making some money, doing deliveries, and talking about areas that you guys want to see fixed in your heart, your soul, your mind, your strength, and your wallet. So what I'll probably do, we can have general conversation, but if somebody chimes in with a topic, then we'll kind of give that topic. We'll just spend time on that one topic as much as possible. trying to kind of help work through, let everybody chime in with other tips, tricks, advice that maybe you have. So just kind of do that. So if there's any area in your life that's just kind of feeling broken tonight, that's what we're here. So kind of consider this like an old-fashioned like call-in show, except you're just going to type it in. And so definitely something that I want to do a little bit more of. And so okay, what's your acceptance rate, Lisa, for that? That's not how you come in a room. That's not how you come in a room. You're in the wrong place. You're really bad at trolling. Yeah, so you have any new tricks on actually getting the on-time rate up? Because as soon as I get stuck with long delays at restaurants, I get messed up. So by fake addresses, do you send it out and then it gets returned to you, Vitalik? Or is there something more going on? So when I was selling, okay. So you just cancel the problem for a buyer's address or whatever? Okay, so here's what I did. When I was selling super cheap sports cards, like when I was selling it at the 99-cent price point, this happened all the time. Okay, yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna probably have to do, is do the acceptance rate climb, and that's probably roughly where I'm gonna need to be, and hope that it's worth it on the other side, because I don't know, gold was okay, but once I dropped down to silver, it's been rough. So I hate doing it. I hate doing acceptance rate climbs, but I think I have to do that. So, I mean, in general, you're protected with seller protection. In general, you're going to be protected if you ship to the address the customer provides. The way I handled it for the most part is I would just ship out the cards, even if it turned out to be a wrong address, and then they would just get returned, and then I would just relist the card because it was an obvious fake address. I think some of it is just it's like feedback harvesting. They don't really want the card, they just want the feedback. So I think that's a big chunk of it. Yeah, no, it's a noticeable drop off from gold to silver, Lisa, noticeably. And I don't know if it was just a slow week, but yeah, I barely see any plus orders, and when I do, it's like $6.50 plus, and it's just for $7. So, I mean, I'm competing with people who take everything, so as long as they're on time, 85% of the time, if they're taking everything and their customer rating is pretty good and their completion rating is pretty good, they're getting platinum over me. So it just filters down. I got to get through the end of, between today and tomorrow, get my rent money done, and then maybe I'll just take that on going into March and just do an old-fashioned acceptance rate climb. But I hate doing it because then I can't run DoorDash all the time anymore. I hate acceptance rate being anything that we're judged on. That's the big thing. But I'll be excited to hear what your results are if you think that it is worth it there. Okay, so Vita, like, I don't even check address. If they provide the address, I send it, because once it leaves the door, I just kind of do that. Now, if you're dealing with like super high-end stuff and you have low feedback, that's going to be the thing that's going to attract the most scammers. They're going to try to target that sort of thing. And the way that you fix that is you put signature confirmation on it. Then they have to sign for it, and then you're protected. So if you're, I'm talking like $600-700 things or whatever. But I'll insure things, up to the, 500, or it kind of depends. It just depends on how much it would hurt if I got nothing for it. If they claimed it was a lost package or whatever, that's where I insure it, the pain point. So, you know, cards I'm selling for $20, $30, $40. It'd be very annoying if one of them got lost, but I won't insure them. I just kind of self-insure on that sort of stuff. But, you know, if it's $200, $300, that's where I'm going to pay for insurance. But I spend zero time looking up addresses, and I just ship it. That's the way I handle it. And if it's a bad address, it's just going to get returned to you anyway. And then I won't refund them unless they request it, because they honestly don't care. They're probably just doing it. So kind of just depends. You have to tell me like the price point of the stuff that you're selling, because that might play into my advice just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of reasons people send stuff to weird places, but a lot of it is just, if it's cheap stuff, a lot of times it's just feedback. All they want is feedback. They don't care about your stuff. It is possibly too testing out. They might also be testing to see if they have someone's address, you know, like stolen information. They might be testing out to see if someone's address is a real address. But again, I can't spend time on it. I just get it, I look at it, I ship it, and I'm done with it. And I found by just moving my price point on my low-end cards from 99 cents to $1.99, or like $2, just by moving that to $2 from $1, it got rid of 95% of that sort of stuff. So hopefully that helps a little bit with it. All right, we are almost to the place. We're also by downtown, so that'll work out nice and easy. We'll be right back by our main stuff. So I mean, I suppose the other thing too is it's pretty easy to do an acceptance rate climb and then just time out any bad orders after 10 minutes. It'll cut into your dollars per hour, but I think it's just going to be maybe a week of eating the pain, so that way by next weekend I can be platinum. Eat the pain for 1 week. All right, let me figure out this. It's 1560, 1540. Yeah, well, I mean, it could be a lot of, there could be a not enough platinum dashers. That could be what's going on. So, all right, hold on. We'll keep that conversation going here. All right, we got everything dropped off. How many total feedback do you have, Vitalik, on eBay? Once you're kind of past the 10 mark, most scammers are gonna avoid. I guess the way I just handle it is I'm gonna trust the eBay seller protection. And I don't know, that's the way I handle it. And then if they claim empty package, that's, I guess, where you just have to choose. Yeah, 60 should be fine. I don't think you should be a particular scammer target with 60 feedback. When I talk about getting feedback, I'm talking about people who have 0, 1, 2, 3, that's a target. But 60 should be like pretty off the radar of people who are looking to scam a newbie. Yes. Not saying that there's not going to be someone who will attempt to scam, because there's always somebody. But yeah, I would just kind of, and remember, most of your first class stuff, like Ground Advantage, that's got insurance all the way up to $100. So that's already included in it. So you don't really have to go any higher, so even if you're like at 120 or 130, you could always just, if something happened there, you just make the claim for 100. Sure, you lose 30, but you might be good on that. Yeah, I mean, there's always a risk, right? And so I'm on the sports card side more than the Pokemon card side, and I'm like the low to mid range as opposed to the super high end. So I can't really comment specifically on the Pokemon market itself, but I would just, if you really were like struggling, I would just look up, how to sell Pokemon on eBay without getting scammed. I would just do that search and just see if there's any sort of practical tips that I'm missing or whatever. Lumix, Kaylee, good evening to you. Hope you are doing well tonight. We just dropped off a large catering order. It was like $17 for 9 miles, so a $15 tip. So I think it was like $200 worth of pizza plus, but whatever. Wasn't anything huge, but it's been slow ever since I moved down to Silver, so I figure I better take it to make DoorDash happy. I think you need to ask yourself questions, Lumix. I think you need to ask, do you think you're too aggressive? Yeah. Oh, for sure. And everybody wants stuff, but they don't want to spend the money on it, and I get it. I get the scamming thing in general, but in general, you also should be protected by eBay with your seller protection for the vast majority of things. So, yep, because I'm not fast enough for DoorDash. I can't time travel. So, lots of times the bigger orders have a longer waiting time and then you're late. And so, I'm Silver. But Lisa is now Platinum, so she's going to try out Platinum on the new system. And I'm probably going to make a rating climb. Well, perhaps the thought has crossed your mind that you are too aggressive, Lumix, because you asked the question. So you have to ask yourself the question, where did that question come from? If you don't think that there might be something in it for you to reflect on and ponder. I can't answer that for you, especially not having met you in real life. I have no way to judge your aggressiveness. It's fine to stand by beliefs that you have and defend them as long as you're willing to also listen and converse. If you try to bash people over the head with your beliefs, then that's not going to work. That's probably not going to win a lot of friends. But yeah. So Bree, yeah, this whole new DoorDash system has such a high reliance on the on-time rating. The only way you can counter it is to really bring your acceptance rate up, which I've been trying to avoid, but it's hard to do both. I was happy on gold, but we lost that. I'm probably close to losing. We'll We'll see. Probably close to losing, or silver. Probably close to losing that too. Oh, I moved up a point. I was to 62 and now I'm up to 63. But happy birthday, Stormy! Happy birthday to you. Thank you for being such an awesome supporter of the channel. You're free! Freedom! Well, we're rocking and rolling. We're just trying to find some orders. Lumix, I'm guessing that you're not going to a therapist by choice. Just a guess. Well, I would think a nihilist would see no reason to go to therapy. If you are going there by choice, then perhaps just explore what your therapist is saying, because they know you significantly better than anyone here would. So if you're going to find out things about yourself, then maybe believe it when other people tell you things. And if you're not going there by choice, then I could understand some skepticism, but it's not really anything we can diagnose for you over the internet. So, just my take on it. Well, which is the end default despair that nihilism provides. So, perhaps the answer to why nihilism is not true is because it leads to despair in the end. And perhaps anything that leads to despair is not really the proper path for a person to take. Have you taken on the challenge to start reading the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? Because I think that might be a better... Oh, of course. All people contradict themselves. You don't need to buy everything or believe absolutely everything that she says. But there should be some nuggets that you can gain insight about yourself. Well, it's non-stop UberEats, but they're not good orders. I'm moving. We've sat so much this week and with very little success. So I got my first good order tonight while moving, so I'm going to just try moving tonight. I, Kaylee, tend to just be a believer that people need to follow the laws of the country they're in. That's just where I fall on everything. You know, like, even Americans going to visit other countries, I don't think you should assume, well, this is legal in America, so I can do it in your country. Like, no, that's not how it works. You know, if you think of countries like houses, right? Your country and your house. There's different rules when you go to different houses, and I would not suppose to walk into your house and impose my rules for living on your house if I visited your house. Now, if you invited me over, obviously, then I would have the right to come over and come into your house. But it would also be my responsibility as the guest to understand the rules of the house. So if you requested I take my shoes off, then the expectation would be for me as your guest to take my shoes off, because that is the rule of your house. And I just see countries as the same way. It's basic decorum for how people work to live together. So purely not a political point. I just think on a sociological level, that's how humans best interact with each other. When you start breaking social contracts, then relationships deteriorate quickly when social contracts break. And it's just speaking in the case of just immigration in general. So I can tell you a perfect story from my life that illustrates this. I had some friends, and they had like a family cabin, and this was way up northern Minnesota. And one time I got to go to the family cabin with a bunch of friends, and we were invited, and it was good. Well, another time I went with some of my friends to the cabin uninvited, and we went up to just kind of like, we weren't trying to be menacing, but be kind of dumb, like toilet paper it a little bit, and you know that. And after it was found out that we did it, that was unwelcome behavior. So what's the difference? The difference is not me, right? I was the same person. The difference was I invited, and what are the rules for which I was invited? You know, and so that's the way I just look at it in a general sense. So I visited the cabin twice. One time it was on good terms. One time it was on very poor terms. Same cabin, same me, same owners of the cabin. But one time I followed the social contract, which was I was invited and I went. And another time I violated the social contract and I went when I was not invited to do so. And I believe countries are like houses. And within a house, when you're a guest in someone's house, you follow the social contract of the house. So that's just my take on it generally. I mean, it's affecting everybody in one way or another, right? There's just as many people are affected positively as are affected negatively, or at least maybe not just as many. I don't know the stats on that. But, you know, when there are certainly people who benefit from illegal immigration, there's people who don't benefit from illegal immigration. You know, gig delivery drivers, I think, definitely don't benefit by illegal immigration, because people who are in the country illegally have less of a reason to care about the types of orders that they take. And so then it does make an impact in the types of orders that other people see. So, but obviously there are people who are here because they want to be here. But again, when you violate the social contract of going into someone's house uninvited, it is going to tear at the fabric of that house. Now you can say, well, that's fine. You know, I'm okay with that. And that's well, I mean, it's a tough thing. I don't think it's anything that's got easy, simple solutions. I do know this, though. If someone who is a citizen of this country breaks the law and goes to jail, they're separated from their children. It happens all the time. Every single day, parents who go to jail are separated from their children. So I don't think that alone yes, do with it what you want. It was a huge canceled order. I got 12 containers of tofu today from a canceled order on Instacart, and I hate tofu. I told my wife she can do with it whatever she wants. So the other problem with a lot of the children that are being brought here is that they're actually being trafficked here. They're not all coming. It's not like they're all coming with their parents. They are coming through a variety of means. It's a messy situation. All right, we're gonna take this 12 for $5 I just got from Carrabba's. This is on UberEats. So taking a 12 for 5. Do with it whatever you want. Sorry, comma, voice to text. Siri's trying to get me in trouble here. I said, do with it what you want, and she said, deal with it. That's not... Well, it depends on what time frame you're talking about for suffering, Lumix. They ordered tofu and eggs. It was going to a restaurant, and the store was out of eggs, unfortunately. Because I would have loved to have all the eggs as a canceled order. That would have been worth it, but... No, they ordered like 18 packages of tofu and like 12 cartons of eggs. Yeah, but if you believe death is non-existence, then that obviously is self-contradictory, because then you're saying no longer existing is the freedom and the redemption from existing, but you could have simply not existed in the first place, Limits. I'm telling you, you need to read the Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Read them as historical narrative and see what you can find about the historicity of Jesus based off of that. So, you've reached the logical conclusions, and the truth is, obviously, society would not be working the way that it was if nihilistic belief is true. For all the flaws that society has, it ultimately cannot be nihilistic, or else it would cease to exist. So the very existence of society is the very proof, to me, that nihilism is wanting at best to explain the world that we see. Yeah, but by nature, nihilism says that everyone must be nihilistic. Nihilism doesn't choose. It is either true or it's not true. So if you don't think everyone should do it, then that's the part of you that knows that it's not true. All right, hold on. I'll be back. All right, we're going to take this add-on, $9.64 for an extra 1 mile from Tony's New York Pizza, but that's way far north from here. So, let me get this bag set up. So now we're on a $21 delivery total between Carrabba's and Tony's New York Pizza. This is like 2 orders of crab cakes and salad seems. Right, but everybody around you knows that nihilism doesn't work in the real world. Everybody knows that that is simply a belief system to justify despair. I don't think most people have trouble understanding what nihilism is. They just categorically reject it because obviously it's not true the way the world works. There is no society, there is no family, there is no loved ones. All these things are merely constructs that have zero value or zero meaning whatsoever. So then why would this many people have created all these things if there's no reason to create any of them? That's where I'm just telling you where most of the people around you are coming from. I think that it very well could be. Or a justification for pleasure seeking. Either despair or pleasure seeking, either way. That's true, but doesn't that challenge your belief system too? That maybe you're the one suffering the delusion that nihilism would be a proper way to live? I think it's much more likely that through the very scheme of history, oh no, I'm not saying for you specifically, but I think for a lot of people, that's why atheism is appealing, because then they have no moral code that they need to hold to. So for you, maybe that's not the reason, but for a lot of people, that has a lot to do with it. No accountability, therefore no need to be accountable. So, but for you, here's the thing. You still haven't centered the reason why despair is your end result. Nihilism explains why you feel despair, but you haven't gotten to the root of why you think nihilism is even true in the first place. And I think that's the difficult thing, is like you have to make an absolutely true claim that there are no absolute truths. And I think, well, it's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with being obedient to doing things that other people want you to do. That's life. That's responsibility. That's just being a person. Like, you know, now there comes a certain point in time where you make your own decisions, but, you know, you're not necessarily at the age. I don't think you're, I don't know, I'm just going to speak from the American side, you know, you're probably not, I don't know, you wouldn't have all the rights of an adult in America yet, if I remember your age correctly. That's fine though. Honor him. It's a good lesson to learn. There are still things that I won't do around my dad to honor him, even if it's something that I personally don't have an issue with, because I honor him and I respect him enough to know that, hey, these sorts of things aren't things that would be honoring to my dad. And my dad raised me, you know, and so I still have a responsibility to do my best to honor him, even though I don't do it perfectly, you know. And you're younger than me. Like, again, this is in general how societies have been built. Have there been people who have disobeyed their parents? Of course. And some of them have turned out great, and some of them have turned out poorly. There's some great people who have poor relationships with their parents. But I think in the heart of every human being is we wish we could have a great relationship with our parents. And again, you have to ask yourself, well, why does, even if you disagree with certain things your dad says, he's still showing that he cares about you. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, Lumix. I just go back to the Bible. The Bible, my relationship with Christ, my experience in the world, seeing how the world works, they all line up. So, anyway, I think as long as you keep pursuing man-made solutions to the problems that you perceive, you're going to find yourself stuck. And since we're talking about life transformation and the area of the soul, I just go back to what I would say to you, what I'd say to anybody else. Read the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John as historical narrative, not as God's word, not as a religious text. Read them simply as historical narrative. And examine, see if they line up with historical reliability using the same test that you would use for any other historical narrative document. Yeah, but that's a people group. I don't follow people groups. I follow God. Or at least I do my best to follow. Everything else is just a straw man. Like if someone goes out and robs a bank in the name of Craig, my name, does that mean I'm responsible for it? No, not unless I was the one who told them to do it. But just because someone ascribes my name as the reason that they did an action doesn't mean I have anything to do with the action. I maybe never even met them. Right, and it also doesn't explain the world of organization and humanity and societies that you see around you. So it's primitive, and I would also say it is vastly inadequate to actually describe anything that you see around you. Now, it doesn't mean that other people can't feel hopeless or feel despair at times, but to stay hopeless or to stay in despair, that's a significantly different thing than to merely feel hopeless or feel despair for a period of time. Trying to help fix any of your problems in your heart, your soul, your mind, your strength, and your wallet. Working with Lumix on some soul-related things here tonight. Worked with Vitalik on some wallet-related things and eBay. So feel free to pick a topic. And Lumix, I'm not ignoring you by any means, but I definitely want to give other people a chance to chime in. We picked up our first order from Carrabba's. We are almost to our second order from Tony's New York Pizza. This is $21 total for these two. And we'll only have a few miles to drive to drop these last two off. Totally free in every area of your life, specifically heart, soul, mind, strength, and wallet. So appreciate y'all being here with me tonight. And so you don't have to go anywhere near as deep as Lumix. If you got questions about any sort of things that are just kind of broken or in disrepair in your life, or things you want to see fixed or see resolution to, please hop on in the conversation. Let us know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, how we can help you here tonight. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we're going to be out delivering for, we started at 6:20. We're going to go out till 9:20. That'll be streaming at least, and maybe longer if you really want to convince me. Maybe. But at this point in time, 6:20 to 9:20, we're going to plan on a 3-hour delivery. It seems like once you go much past 3 hours, the number of viewers just drops off precipitously. So I don't want to just be streaming just to stream on this channel. If anything, maybe I'll hop over to the sports channel. We'll just do it was like 12. Listen, a note to all restaurant workers: you don't make anybody happy when you give a small time and you're incorrect. Overestimate the time. It doesn't matter. A new driver is going to get assigned if they leave. Nobody is going to be hurt. So just if you're gonna lie long, not short. Just a heads up to everybody. All right. So we got to go a mile and a half. This is to drop off the Carrabba's. And then I think the pizza order is like just after it. So this all should be pretty close right now. All right, even with that wait, we're still 1 hour in so far. So we'll see how all this plays out. This will put us at about, we'll call it 38 through an hour and a half. This is 21 plus the 17. So yeah, we'll be at about $38 through an hour and a half, which is not horrible. But one of the things that probably amazes me most about these food delivery apps is how do they not know how long it takes these orders to come out on a regular basis? Like their metrics should be literally like the average of like their last 20 deliveries, how long drivers had to wait, that's when it should be assigned. It just amazes me with all the technology that we have for so many simple things that they can't solve just so many basic algorithmic problems. So I know we're worried about drivers being replaced by robots, but I'm going to tell you what, programmers definitely need to be worried about the fact that they can't program simple things in, because there's no reason that you should ever have restaurant delivery drivers waiting at restaurants for 15-20 minutes. It's completely unnecessary. So, all right, well, we're going to drop off this Carrabba's. I have it in a hot bag, but I don't know how hot it's still going to be. I hope your crab cakes are still good, but this one's on UberEats. UberEats dirty double stacked themselves on this order. And it's weird because they put the hot crab cakes in the same bag as the salad, so whatever. That's not on me. We'll get these dropped off and then see what orders remain. Hopefully it'll be decent for a couple hours tonight. Alright, we are almost to the first of 2 drop-offs here for Carrabba's. And then I'll get caught up on all the chat in a little bit. All right, we will be back here in just a moment. Come on, delivery. Upload that picture already. Because I don't know where I'm going until the picture is uploaded. It's going to be par for the course. Technology not working. Come on, upload the picture. Upload the picture whenever it's delivered. All right, on to the next delivery. KC, good evening. How are you doing tonight? Another thing Uber Eats needs to fix, well, I mean, so I've been out for an hour. I'm on my third delivery, but we just get stuck waiting. So yes, technically busy, but we're not getting much done because we just get stuck. Dun, dun, dun. But hopefully it'll be good for a couple hours at least. So I started at 6:20, so we're just over an hour in, and we'll be at $38 here. As soon as we drop this one off, we'll get all the apps back on, specifically DoorDash, see if there's anything. This end of town, my strategy tonight is not to sit anywhere, other than we'll do a little sit by Magic Dumpster later in the night, but this time of night, I'm just trying to keep moving. Just try to keep moving. This is pizza and wings to this delivery here. The first one was Carrabba's. All right, they have their porch lights on, so hurrah for that. All right, we'll be right back. Sure, I grabbed the right bag for you. Have a great night. All right, we're gonna get our phone up here. And we're going to get moving. All right, we got to get out of this back little neighborhood here. But we're not too far from decent restaurants, so hopefully we can catch something else right away. All right, well, welcome everybody to A Side of Hustle. We're out doing some food delivery tonight. We're taking on 5 different areas that you could be stuck in your life: your heart, your soul, your mind, your strength, your wallet, and try to help you fix those problems as best as we can. Tonight's just kind of like a old school call-in show, and so just kind of feel free to chime in. I've been talking with Lumix, but definitely want you to chime in if you've got other thoughts or other questions in your own life as well. Well, Lumix, if you want to know what things mean, you have to define in what context you're talking about them. So, if you're talking from a biblical worldview, what does it mean? Or, so you gotta give parameters around these things. Because if you're talking from the biblical worldview, it's all defined. The Bible defines exactly what it means by all of those things. And I can give you those explanations, but yeah, it's all of those things right. So you're just listing off the 7 deadly sins, but what is intended by all that is all laid out within the Bible. None of those things are standalone. Well, you can think whatever you want on that. And again, it depends on what you mean by religion as well. So, anybody can hold any worldview they want, even if it's completely logically inconsistent with anything else that they believe or whatever, too. So, oh, look, we're stopping in the middle of the road again. It's that new thing we like to do. Just literally stop in the no emergency flashers, just park right in the middle of the road. If I was a police officer, I could hand out so many tickets every day. Probably some to myself, too. So any good book will give you the definitions of the words in the book by context. So, how's it going, Pete? Oh, it's just absolutely amazing. It's good. Like, definitely battling some mind stuff right now, for sure. But overall, the day itself has been good. I'm just tired. Not physically tired, though. I mean, I am a little bit physically tired, but I'm just mentally tired right now. So, trying to take good care of myself as best as I can. But yeah, no, I mean, it was a good morning. Had a small catering order. I think I'm about ready to stop accepting these $20 catering orders, though. They just, unless they're super short, like 1 mile away or something like that. I mean, I'm torn because part of me really likes knowing I've got a $20 order at 10:30 in the morning. But the other part of me knows that I'm getting ripped off for the amount of work that I'm doing, too. So, it's crazy to me that these businesses tip less on catering orders than like families do on regular orders. Like that's pretty crazy to me. And like now that I'm a full catering driver, like I still tend to take it, but I don't know. It's definitely so I have 10 on Zifty. Do I need to do something now that I've completed 10 on Zifty? Or is it like automatic? I'm way over 10 on Zifty now. I know. Yeah, I've done 36 Zifty orders. And then I'm a full catering driver on Deliver That now. I've only seen one good order of which I missed. But the problem is if I don't have Deliver That on and it's good, it's gone. M gets it before me. I need to just take some time and relearn all the things here on exactly how all this stuff works, but sounds good. I just haven't seen much. I haven't seen much for large. I got a 48 on Zifty earlier this week. That's about the highest I've seen on there in a while. I saw like 120 on Deliver That I missed. So that was pretty frustrating, but whatever. I don't know how to do it because every time I'm just constantly using my phone for other things. I just don't know how to do it. All right, we got a $24 double from Grubhub. That's kind of strange. First one is from Papa John's. So we're pulling into Papa John's now. That's a very, and we only have to go about 5 miles. So this is a very nice double from Grubhub. Bill, good evening. How are you doing tonight? So hopefully, it took us a little while to get over here. So I had accepted this, but I wasn't sure if it was going to get timed out, so I didn't say anything. But we got here. That's not too bad. I can't take anything else though. I already have a double. Yeah, no, I mean, Lisa, I have so many time issues right now. I'm barely staying on top of the household. It's so bad. My life is just survival chaos, basically. That's what my life is at the moment. Survival chaos. All right, I'll be right back. Gotta grab the pizza bag. All right. Life is what you make it. You'll rent. All right, so now we got to go to Chinese food place here. All right, so tonight we're just talking about fixing areas of your life. Any of these 5 areas: heart, soul, mind, strength, or wallet. So if you're stuck on something, you got a problem, something you want some advice on or whatever, that's what we're here for tonight. One of the reasons I'm doing it tonight is because I know for me, when I start to get stuck in areas, one of the best things I can do is start helping other people too. So that's... Otherwise, I tend to wallow. Any of you ever just start to wallow in self-pity and woe is me and all this sort of stuff? So I think the way to fix that is serving other people. And then sometimes when you do that, you're going to actually come across the solutions you're searching for yourself anyway. So I think it's a 2-for-1. It is healing to serve other people, but it's also the benefit that you might actually end up getting something out of it for yourself in the end. Not that you're doing it just to help other people, or just to help yourself feel better, but you know what I'm saying. All right. We got to cut across like 4 lanes of traffic here to make our U-turn. So this is $24. It's going to bring us to 61, and maybe we can actually have this done by 8:20. If this next restaurant is done, then we'll be up to like a $30 an hour pace, which is really not bad at all considering how much we've been waiting around here tonight. So we are rocking and rolling here on a Friday night, doing some food delivery, hanging out with all of you. Trying out our new updated, revised slogan here. So tell me what you guys think. I haven't settled on it for sure, but I've been trying now. The goal of this channel is to move 10,000 people from stupidly broken to fully free. So that's what I'm kind of rolling with, because the initial one kind of had a little too much of a financial connotation to it. So this is more about whole life transformation, which financially is part of that, but there's a lot more to it. So, all right, I'm gonna go see if this order is like 8 things. This is probably where the majority of the tip is coming from, but go see if this order is ready. a big bag of food. Big bag of food. It was ready because, well, at least it took us a while to drive here. That's the one benefit Grubhub has. They don't have enough orders, therefore they don't have enough drivers. Therefore they have to send drivers a long distance. Oh, now we've got people. Okay, they were walking in the crosswalk and then they just stopped. And then they backed up. And now they're crossing in front of me again. So now we don't just have cars stopping in the middle of the road, we have people who stop in the middle of the road. Oh, now there's someone else walking right down the middle of the road. People. People are just wild. People are wild. All right, well, we're going to drop off our first order here. So we've got, I think I'm dropping off the pizza here first. I think that's the first one. Yeah, we're dropping off the Papa John's first. It's harder to keep a single pizza warm than it is to keep a whole giant bag of Chinese food that's all hot together. They're both in hot bags, but if we can only keep one, I gotta deliver one quicker. They're like 2 miles from the pickup in each direction. So it's like you're gonna drive 2 miles to one and 4 miles to the other. So I think the Chinese food is more likely to stay warm. It's gonna set us up right around the center part of town, which is where I spent quite a bit of the night. Anyway, all right, so we got 1 mile to go. We're going to, I don't know if we're going to a condo or a hotel on the beach. We're going to something over on the beach over this way. Dropping off a pizza. It's a small pizza too. Small pizza and a 20-ounce bottle of soda. And then we just got to double back and go do the other delivery 4 miles back the other way. So gonna be one or the other either way. There was no avoiding it. It's definitely not a stack that I would have built if I was making my own, but Grubhub built the stack, so we're just gonna go with it. They're the ones who paired the orders together, so we'll be the driver that delivers it. I got to figure out exactly which building we're going to. So Lisa, do you just have your phone on catering? Like, do you have just a dedicated catering phone? I mean, I don't see that many anyway, so it could just be, that could be a big part of it, is we just don't have that many, but I don't know. 5. Enter the parking lot, that's great. But that still doesn't help me. Yes, this is going here. All right, so deliver that you also use for Spark. Got it. Arrived. Leave order in the building lobby. All right, I'll do what you say. All right, so we're on our way to drop off this China pencil. That'll complete our $24 double here from Grubhub. To go 3.2 miles, says 15 minutes. Which is going to put us right around $8.20. This will put us at $60 in just about 2 hours. Which is pretty good. We will take that. Yeah, I know. Grubhub, like, every once in a while just, like, shows up in a strange way. And, tonight is the night. Tonight is the night Grubhub decided to show up. All right, so we have to go. I guess I was thinking it was going to be 4. I guess it's only have to go 3 miles here for the delivery. I was thinking it was like 4. We're doing our best to make that money as best we can. so this is our second drop off from Grubhub here. Hope everybody is doing well tonight. So feel free to chime in with some conversation, whatever you got going on. The theme of the night is, what is one area of your life that you need some help with, that you want to get fixed? Something that's broken. Yeah, I had a double Uber, so we're waiting for those tips to come through, Casey. Ended up being like a 12 for 5 and then a 9 for an extra 1. So it was like 21 for 6. So that's what we did right before this. And then previous to that, we had a DoorDash. Turned out to be like 17 for 9. It was a large catering order, but I mean, it's at a decent tip, $15 tip, but not the size tip that you would normally expect for an order that size. So usually that would be like a, $20, $30 order at least. But we still took it to get going with the night. So we got the 21, 24, that's 45 plus 17. It's like 62, but just round down to 60 for now. And we started at 6:20, and this will put us at 2 hours at 8:20. So we're at the $30 an hour. That's pretty much the max I think you can realistically hope for on a regular basis. Yeah, no, I mean, I've been thinking about all the different things we were talking about last night too, and it's like, ultimately I know I have an income problem. Even if you could just erase all my debt today, which I would absolutely love it and appreciate it, right? But even if that was the case, I still don't have the income level that I need to be supporting my family and living the life that I want to live. So while I'm figuring out long-term what to do with some of the debt side of things and the credit side of things and all those things, ultimately I'm trying to figure out like income jump. And I was thinking tonight, like I've been telling you guys, I've been trying to jump from 200 to 300 a day. But I'm like, I feel like that's aiming way too low. I was thinking about this, and this is gonna sound nutty. Don't worry. Like, you can call me like a certified nut job for this. But I was like, okay, with everything else that I'm trying to do in life, I'm trying to 10x it. So I'm like, if I know what $200 a day looks like, why do you have your brights on? Why would you just like turn your brights on? Anyway, I was like, so I need to figure out what a path to $2,000 a day looks like. Like, I got to figure out what that is. And I know that sounds really stupid and nutty to like even talk like that when I'm making 200 a day, but I'm like, just trying to make a jump from 200 to 300. That might take just as much work to figure out as jumping from 200 to 2,000. And it's like, but instead of doing it as like 200 to 300, and then I got to relearn how to do 300 to 500, and then I got to learn how to do 500 to 800. I'm like, maybe I need to just skip a bunch of steps. Did I miss? Got to make a U-turn. They wouldn't let me get over. Got to make a U-turn here. Sorry. But I'm like, ultimately I'm thinking that's probably what I need to do, is instead of reformulating my life. Now, I'm not saying to stop making the money that I'm making right now, right? Like, I still got to make the 200 a day, but I think I've been thinking too small. What in the world? Why did you tell me to make a U-turn and now you're telling me to make I'm so... Grubhub. You make me frustrated. But I think I had the wrong idea, because I've been planning out this idea in my head of, okay, I just need to figure out how to make an extra $100 a day. Instead, the problem if I do that is, so what? Like, that still doesn't solve my problem. Like, yes, it's a stepping stone, but it's like, it's shooting at a goal that is possible. And it's not going to push me or challenge me or stretch me to anywhere near the level. And it's like, and it doesn't solve the problem. It certainly doesn't solve the temporary or the intermediate problem, and definitely not the long-term problem. Now, 2,000 at least solves the temporary and the intermediate problem. Maybe it doesn't solve the long-term problem, but if it can fix most of my financial issues that I'll face in the next 5 to 10 years, then I still have a long-term retirement issue. But I think I've been kind of pondering through this, and like, I need to just completely disassemble this matrix of what I'm in and just go all out with figuring out what the $2,000 a day thing looks like. And like, I'm not telling you that like it's gonna happen quickly, but I think I'd rather just, I can almost mindlessly do food delivery, right? Like, I'm to the point where I know my town, I know my restaurants. Like, there's some days I should probably be less picky than I am, just to make more gross cash, even if the net ends up being about the same, but just to have the gross income higher. But my problem is, if I try to just figure out I'll be able to figure out how to go from 200 to 300 without fixing the underlying problems. But there's no way I can go from 200 to 2,000 without basically, demolishing the whole structure and rebuilding it from scratch. Yeah, well, exactly, and that's the thing. And like, if I didn't have to deal with any other obligations, right, that's probably be between 1,500 and 2,000 every week. But I have, we've got the split car and all those things. So ultimately, I'm not going to be able to debt free myself through gig work. It's just not. There's not enough ways to do it, because I can't make enough money to earn the second, to have the second vehicle, and then to pay the mortgage down, and then to pay the debt off, and then to have the money coming. Like, I've got an income problem. I've tried to solve it every other possible way. I've cut every possible expense I can. It just doesn't matter. I have an income problem, and I've got to figure out how to, if I'm going to figure out how to do 300 or 400, I might as well just blow up the whole income paradigm that I'm living in right now. Still do the food delivery to pay the bills at the moment, but build something so much bigger in the background with the extra time. And that's essentially how I'm doing this. And it doesn't mean I'm going to get it right away. Probably not. But the potential of creating a community, launching a course that could literally sell hundreds of copies a day, that sounds a whole lot more intriguing in the long term than figuring out, how to pay off my debt via food delivery in 5 years or whatever. So I guess instead of just taking the next step that doesn't push me or stretch me out, I just need to figure out the business plan of what does $2,000 a day income look like. Because if I get to there, then I'll have no problem blowing through all the debt and paying the rent, and eventually getting out of a rental and getting into a mortgage, and everything that I'll learn along the way is only going to help me more with moving in the direction that I want to go. And so I think that's the big thing, is like, that's the piece that I've been missing in this whole puzzle, is I've been thinking too small of a step. Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. And again, I don't blame anybody but myself. I mean, I'm the reason I'm in this mess. You know, there's a lot of things that happen, but I'm the reason I'm in this mess. But like, I want to have the freedom to help people in a much greater capacity, but I also want to have the standard of living that matches a lot of these houses that I deliver to, and I don't think those two are mutually exclusive. You know, what? Turn right, then prepare to park your car. You'll need to walk to the destination. What in the world are you doing, Grubhub? I have no idea. That can't be a thing. That's literally the instructions I just got. Prepare to walk your car, or prepare to park your car and then walk. Like, I have no idea what this is looking like here. Well, they're texting me, you missed our street. Well, that doesn't help me because I'm on the GPS. Trying to find it. I like how they're just like jerks about it too. Like, you missed our street. Like, duh, like I don't know that. Elgin Drive. I have no idea where that is. Like you think we know your streets? No, we don't know your streets. Okay. Turn left, then turn left into the first driveway. Does it? Let's see.
At the stop sign, turn right.
Why are you? Oh my goodness. I'm so.
At the next stop sign, turn right.
This one? Is this it? 279. What's the number? Alright, well, it matches. Yeah, it doesn't even recognize this road. This road doesn't exist on the GPS. That's 270. That's... Yeah, there's no... Like, this is like a road, but it's not a road. It's not a road on the GPS. Alright, we're here. Sounds good, Bree. You can watch me slowly deteriorate through the rest of the night. We're gonna stay live till 9:20, so we'll stay here for another hour. And then probably after that, I'm just gonna spend some time to myself, unless you all convince me to stay alive after that. At least he was a friendly old guy, so we'll take that. So that was $24.73. We're less than 2 hours in and we're at $62, so no complaints. We're gonna get DoorDash back on here right away. I like happy old guys. I want to be a happy old guy. I don't want to be a grumpy old guy, but I feel myself becoming old and getting grumpier. So it's like I got to turn that tide. So yeah, I mean, I think that's the ultimate plan. Is like I need to shoot bigger to shoot for what I'm going for in general. All right, we got everything back on here. We'll see what there is. I don't even know where I'm at. Where am I in town? All right. Directions to Papa John's. Just get me close. $17 for 25 miles on Uber. So, yeah, so the idea of trying to build out, wait, I know where I am, but, okay, I see where I'm at. You know, so it's about putting a business plan together that's going to essentially give the growth that is needed. And of course it's going to take a while to grow something from nothing to, you know, the significance of $2,000 a day. But I guess where I'm at is either way, whether I was in debt or whether I was not in debt, I feel like that would be a very reasonable goal for me to aim for, that would give me the freedom and flexibility to do the things that I want to do with the rest of my life and the way that I want to take care of my family. So that's what I'm going to do. Is honestly, I'll use ChatGPT a lot to kind of work through my head. I've been acquiring a lot of business knowledge, but then there's a lot of things there's still a lot of skills I need to obtain. And I'm just going to keep working on that. But I think I'm at the point where it's like, look, I just need to go do it. I need to do it and learn and fail and learn and fail and just set that as the focus from this point forward. And I think I'm just really at the point in my life, long term, I want to use my relational and communicational skills to be the primary way by which I make a living. And it doesn't mean I won't test things out for the channel, obviously, and I still got eBay stuff that I'm going to be selling, and you know, there's going to be stuff to pay the bills in the meantime. But in the long run, I just really want to tap into the teacher side and just say, look, this is the direction I want to go. And even if it's going to take, you know, 10 or 20 different digital products before I find one that really connects with the audience I want to connect to, even if it takes, you know, a bunch of failings of getting booked as a speaker in different places, that's just a part of me. Like, that was how I used as a pastor, that's how you make a living. You make a living as a communicator and as a relator. That's what it is. And so I think that's what I'm ultimately wired to do. And that would be the way that I would see myself being happy, is using my teaching, communicating, and relating skills to help people. And I just have to figure out how to. I've never really been good at marketing myself. And so that's like a big part of like learning and growth of this YouTube channel, right? Is because you're figuring out what your brand is, who you really are. I mean, some people will go on YouTube and fake themselves, but for me, my YouTube journey is like all about figuring out who I really am. And because the things I believe, you believe something and you throw it out on YouTube, if you can't defend it, it's not going to stand the test of a YouTube challenge. And so yeah, no, and I appreciate that, Pete, for sure. And I think a lot of those things are going to be like little steps along the way. Because so I was one of the things I was learning today, I was listening and delivering, was when you go on YouTube, you want to be known for one thing ultimately. Let's see if I can. All right, we got a 850 plus from True Food Kitchen here. I was in the wrong lane, but there was no one behind me, so we grabbed it. 850 plus. This is on DoorDash. So basically, they were saying, not necessarily in the long run, but in the short run, you need to be known for either one very simple word or one very simple phrase. So, and it doesn't mean that phrase can't change over time, but in other words, when people see you, they have to know what thing that you are about. There's a guy there's a green light turning red. How long until they notice it? Took him like 6 seconds to go. And I was like, well, what's the word that I want to be known for, or the phrase? And I haven't settled on this 100% yet, but so let me ask you this. Before I say what I'm thinking. Oh, there's another True Food Kitchen. We're going to stack that. Got 2 orders from True Food Kitchen. Two orders from True Food Kitchen. $8 plus and then a $10. So if I had to ask you, what's the word or phrase that you would associate with me? Like when you think of A Side of Hustle, when you think of Craig, what's the word or phrase? I'm just kind of curious. I did not, American Walmarts. I did not. Do I need to go check it out later? I streamed the Mets game from 1 to 3:30. Worked this morning, streamed the Mets from 1 to 3:30, and then picked up the family and been delivering ever since. So. Alright, the one is 4 pizzas. Alright, we'll be back. We got 2 orders we're picking up here. Oh, Broncos Super Bowl ring? Very nice. Very nice. So the phrase that I kind of ultimately want this channel to be associated with, at least tentative, so like, yeah, like my long-term phrase for this channel is like life transformation. Like, I don't want it to just be just about the financial side of things. Like, that's how it started, and like we certainly cover that, but I want it to be more than that. Long-term, Bree, great question. How much money am I trying to make long-term? I don't have that answer per se. I just want to be at the point where I've acquired all the skills that I need to be living the life that I want to be living. And, you know, I guess realistically, the largest number I can imagine at this moment would be like $2,000 a day, which, not gonna lie to you, that still sounds like a super scary high number. But like anything more than that seems like unimaginable to me, I guess, would be my... But I feel like I have a much better shot if I just start financially, mentally obsessing about what earning $2,000 a day looks like. I just have a much better shot of making that happen if that's where I just set my sights. Because everything else is like, okay, well, I can make an extra $10 here, I can make an extra $20 here, and then it's like, okay, boom, now I'm doing $300 a day. Now I've got to do a whole reset and then figure out, okay, now what do I need to do to make $400 a day? Because it just seems to me that it would be a whole lot $100 a day that I have to make to pay the bills right now. I'm just going to do that. And then in the background, I'm going to spend every waking moment of building something that is so much bigger and greater than a $300 or a $400 day. So, because the one is just, I mean, it would be hard, but it wouldn't be life-changing. You know, $300 a day versus $200 a day doesn't change my life. I'm still going to be in debt for a long time if I do that. But $2,000 a day versus $200 a day does change my life. And so it's like, that's what I want to instead focus on. And of course I want to be helping people along the way. That's the whole part of this journey. But it seems like it would be a whole lot easier to just pick one thing, go all in with it, and just focus on that with every spare minute that I had. And you know, it may mean that certain things are going to end up going dormant for a little while. Certain projects that I was either working on or was hoping to start working on again, I might just need to nix everything else. You know what I mean? Like, I might just have to be like, okay, I'm just going to hit the pause button on everything else for the moment and just dive in all in with a singular focus in one particular area. And just basically say no say no to every other last thing that I can think of that I would want to say yes to, and just go all in and say, look, let's just do this. And I mean, it's kind of scary, but I think actually that's what I'm going to kind of work on. I'm going to just talk to ChatGPT after we're done with this stream here tonight, and just really clarify the thoughts on what this is going to look like. And you know, we might just have to completely hit the pause button on some other projects I've been thinking of or am currently working on, and just say temporarily, until I can figure out how that ties into the larger goal and mission, put them on pause. And then if I can figure out how to integrate these other projects into a larger goal and mission, then I'll integrate them in, but solely for the larger goal and mission, not for them in and of themselves. All right, what's the number here? Is it the house that's all lit up? Maybe. Looks like it could be. That's it. This is the house that's all lit up. All right, hang tight really quick. All right, that was $8 plus. It ended up just being $9.50, which is, that's the type of plus orders that I've been getting on DoorDash once we got down to silver. But hold on one second. We're gonna pause DoorDash here because we got a second delivery we gotta do. Yeah, and the other thing is, so there's a principle I've learned, which I never understood it, but now I'm starting to understand it, which is this. So there are plenty of like $10 and $20 million houses that are here in Naples. And on a very regular basis, people buy those houses for $20 million. And you know what the first thing is that they do? The first thing they do after they spend $20 million on a home is they hire a demolition crew to come and knock the entire $20 million house down. And then they spend 20 or 30 or 40 million dollars more to build their dream house on that plot of land. And that was always so strange to me, but I start to understand why, because there's a broader principle here, which is they could spend maybe $10 million retrofitting the house, but it still wouldn't be their dream home. And you can pick on people who spend that much on a house all you want, but ultimately, right, if you're spending $20 million, you want your dream home. That's why you're spending that money. You've worked for that money, you've earned that money, you want to build your dream home with that money. Of course, by spending all that money, you pour it back into the economy, which is a great thing as well. Support a bunch of people, you know, taking money and then you're throwing it back in the economy. So it's great, whatever. And I always struggled with that. Like, oh my goodness, that's such a waste. Why would you spend $20 million on a house and then just knock it down? Well, because they're going for the dream, and the old house cannot sustain the new dream. And I think the way my life is financially structured right now, there's no way that the old house, the old financial house that I built, could sustain the structure of the new dream. A $200 a day income cannot scale to a $2,000 a day income, most likely. You need to just basically level everything, restart from scratch, and do it. Now, of course, I'm in the unenviable position of I still have to make that $200 a day, and then everything else, all my extra time then has to go towards that other project. But I think I can save myself a bunch of wasted time by not merely going for a little step, and just go for the whole big thing, and then just build the right foundation from the very beginning. And then everything that I do, right, all the content that I create is all 100% in line with what I am trying to do. Just teach people how to achieve freedom in life, not just financially, but the 5. There's going to be lots of baby steps along the way of actually building that, but it will be building it on a fresh foundation, not rebuilding it or trying to add a new addition. All right, we're on our way. We have about 2.5 miles to go. About 2.5 miles to go to get to our second drop off here from True Food Kitchen. So we were at 62. These two together are going to be like 19. So that's like 81. So we'll be at 81 in under 3 hours. Yeah. So one of the hardest things for whatever reason, I'm very like sentimental and nostalgic and all these things, and it's absolutely ruined me. This craving to like go back and like remember what it was like when I was a kid and all that, and that's really hurt me from progressing forward. And you know, I believe I've got it in me. I believe I have enough business sense in me, even if I've got a lot to learn. I think I know the basics by now. Got a Facebook Marketplace person here. Yes, exclamation point. I have about 25 left. Period. How many do you need? Question mark. I ultimately think like the Costco stuff, I think it'll still fit on this channel. I just need to get the channel more organized. So like what I think I need to do is I think I actually need to like, it's the, you know, the old sports content on the channel, and I just need to create the full series of the different things that I want to do and build out, but really just build out a cohesive plan of everything and what it looks like. And then, so I'm going to tell you for sure the next thing that needs to start happening is building an email list. So I know that's something I need to do, which I started already with the Metropolitans channel. Started building an email list and doing a giveaway and stuff like that. I'm going to do the same thing here. I just have 24-inch cubed boxes. So, I mean, I think ultimately there is room for ways to save money and different things like that. There is room for how to master gig delivery work, but there's also room for all the other areas that I want to cover on the channel and really to figure out exactly what that looks like. And I still think there's room for hangouts like this, or just kind of more of a generic hangout. But it's got to be more focused on both serving the viewer and really like doubling down or tripling down on that. And make sure that I'm providing the ultimate service experience as a content creator. If I say my channel's all about serve, learn, grow, adapt, then that has to be 100% evident from the moment anyone, comes through and starts looking through videos, is that everything that I'm doing is service-based. This person is asking about these boxes and they're asking weird questions. You would have to measure the length of the dresses, period. These boxes are 24-inch high by 24-inch wide by 24-inch deep. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, I have a theory why, but I don't know why for sure. The GPS is really slow in giving out information tonight. Try U-Haul, I think they sell the types of boxes you are looking for wardrobes. I guess the one thing that's good about two cars is that when one needs repair, at least you still have another car. But I mean, there's so much work time that I can't get done. Like today, I could have been out working and delivering. Instead, I was sitting at the school waiting for my wife to get done with her work, the kids to be done. Or had I taken orders, then they would have had to sit around waiting for me to do it. And yeah, no, I mean, it's costing us a lot. Just even with what we're doing right now. Yeah, so I don't have the ultimate solution to that yet. It's just, both of us working plus 3 kids, activities, going different places, going different directions. We're stuck. We're almost to this drop off. Yeah, no, I mean, that's for sure. That's been a thing is, like, I've got more stuff. I got, like, even some more stuff from me as a kid. Like, my kids have already outgrown it. I was like, I just need to be done with it. I just need to move on. Yeah, so I had the same issue, Pete, with our cargo van. Like, I stopped using it, and it was under business insurance, so I was paying like $300 a month. Yeah, there's this idea of I keep thinking I've let go of everything, and I'm realizing, like, no, I still haven't let go of everything. Like, I still have more earthly attachments to things. I like how DoorDash is going to make me confirm my account right here. And you can't do it while driving. Good conversation though, Pete, for sure. Appreciate you. I saw you commented on some videos earlier today too, so I'll get over to that eventually as well. I just haven't gotten to that yet today. All right, I think we're gonna get a free $15 from Instacart here. We just grabbed a Publix order, but by the time we get there, they're going to be closed. So we're going to get some free base pay, which is great because Instacart robbed me earlier today of like $40. So I'm pretty good with that. I had a $45 delivery, and then the customer canceled. Now, it wouldn't have paid out that high anyway because they ordered a bunch of eggs that they didn't have. But anyway, the customer canceled, so I got $4 base pay for like an hour's worth of work. So we're going to go get our $15, 15 of our 40 back. then Instacart will only owe me $25 more. So, I'll go over this in case you don't know how to get base pay when you arrive at a closed store. I'll show you how to do this. It's been a while since I've shown how to do this. Is really, really important. There's a couple steps that you need to do. So, first thing is you got to get to the store. Now we just accepted it, so we have a little bit of time, so we can take another small order in the meantime if we need to as well. Alright, so on Instacart, you arrive at a closed store. When you get to the store, the first thing you need to do, before you want to go get a picture of the actual like store closed sign, whether it's the time or whatever, but you want to actually get a picture of the store closed. And then before you call Instacart, you need to hit start shopping. If you don't hit start shopping, a lot of times they won't give you the full payout. At least they didn't used to. So you gotta hit start shopping, and then you call Instacart. While you're calling Instacart, you have to send the customer a message that lets them know, hey, the store is closed. Do you want to cancel or reschedule your order? Okay, so while that is going on, because that's one of the things that they're gonna ask you to ask the customer, so you might as well just ask it right away. Then they'll have that information. It doesn't matter what they answer, or even if they don't answer at all, you just show like, yeah, I've done my due diligence, I've asked the customer. Once you've done all of that, you've taken the picture of the store, then you don't have to hang out at that location anymore. But it is important you actually get to the store and start shopping. So if you don't make it all the way to the store and start shopping, they're just going to say, all right, sorry, it's closed, but we can't do anything. So you can't just simply say, well, I was going to go there, but I know it's closed. No, you actually have to go there, hit the start shopping button. That proves to them that you're actually there, and then with the store being closed, that's how you get the guaranteed base pay from Instacart. So in this case, it's going to be like $14, $15, something like that. It's like a $17 order with a $3 tip. The reason it's up this high is simply because they were trying to get someone to shop this. Before the store closed. So in this store they won't let you in at like 8:57 anyway, so we'll go do our due diligence. I'm gonna throw the BRB sign up because this is gonna take about 5 minutes or so. We're gonna go get a free $15 from Instacart. So that's gonna put us at like roughly $97 in less than 3 hours. So, all right, so I'll be back here shortly. You got to go take care of the couple things that we need to do to get our free money from Instacart. Justin, how's it going? Yeah, well, that's how it goes sometimes. All right, so we got our picture here. They already have, like, the doors are locked. They don't want anybody coming in the store at 8:58 to shop for, like, somebody's groceries. So. All right, so we're going to do this. I'll get my message done. The message I'm going to send to the customers: the store closed at 9 p.m. Did you want to cancel or reschedule? And then I'll follow it up with a picture. Call Instacart support. All right, so then yeah, this is he. How are you? I'm doing well. So I just arrived at the store to shop this order, but the store closed at 9 p.m. I reached out to the customer to let them know this and ask if they wanted their order canceled or rescheduled, but they have not yet answered, so I don't know what they want to do. Yep. Yes. All right, so now we're on hold with Instacart customer support. They're going to process the cancellation of the order. We'll get our $14 and change batch pay, whatever it was exactly. Then we're free to go. So this is a handy little trick, and someone's going to get the money, so it might as well be you. So if you know a store is closed, accept the order, get the batch pay, and then keep doing it. So we actually had this happen after the hurricane came. All the orders were getting filtered because only one store didn't mark themselves as closed. I did this for like an hour and a half straight, and I made like $350 doing this because they kept sending orders to a store that was closed. There were probably about 10 of us in the parking lot who did this. And so someone's going to get the order. It doesn't matter. Like, it literally, someone's going to get paid, so it might as well be you. So yeah, I would estimate, I stayed there the longest because I took everything. Like, some people are like, I don't know if we should keep going. I'm like, I'm going to keep going. It's free money. It's not my fault that Instacart doesn't know when these stores close. So, and like I said earlier today, I took a $45 order for Instacart, and then it was canceled by the customer and I got paid $4. So don't feel bad because they're not going to reimburse you any other time. Oh, people are showing up now. Let's see. Let's see. Don't let them in. Yep, turn them around. I think there's a guy who's doing an Instacart right now. He's going up to the sign to take the picture. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe not. I thought he was. Guess he was just a customer. I thought he was going up to the sign to take a picture. Because the guy just told him all it's closed. Everybody showing up at 9 o'clock. Well, that's good, Justin. $4 is horrible for an hour's worth of work, Caleb. Because I did all the shopping. I did all the work. And I got paid $4 for 1 hour worth of work. So I'm just saying, don't feel guilty. Yeah, so are you out delivering right now, Justin? Yes. Yes, it looks good from my end, so thank you so much. All right, thank you. Bye. All right. And with that, I mean, we wouldn't have had to wait around anyway, but we're good to go. We have a dash that starts at 9:30, but it's available to start now, so we're going to take it. Got to hang out with you guys for about 15 more minutes. Doing my best, Caleb. Doing my best. Ah, you're doing some stats. Hey, get that done. That way it's not hanging over your head all weekend. All right. Well, earlier we took 2 orders from Carrabba's and Tony's New York Pizza for $22. Final tip came through on Uber. That was $24.85, so we got an extra $2 or $3 there. So that's pretty nice. And then we still have like an $8 and change pending tip from True Food Kitchen as well. All right, so with that in mind, I think we're going to head down towards Magic Dumpster for the last little bit. So I'm going to hang out with you guys. If we get one more order, maybe. But we're going to... They probably won't put out any more Publix orders for this one since it's after 9. So we're going to go ahead and see if there's any good orders at Magic Dumpster. Magic Dumpster is where we like to go late at night, especially. Try to find some high-end orders. It's a dumpster in a back alley behind some of our high-end restaurants that actually stay open past 9 o'clock. We got a good one from there last night. Actually, maybe a good 2. There go the Uber drivers. So we'll see. We're gonna go see if there's anything left, but otherwise we're probably just about done for the night. 3-hour stream seems to just fit just about right. we'll see. In a little bit, I might go live on the sports channel, just talking everything sports and baseball and Mets and all that. So I'll hang out with you guys till we either get an order or while we're at Magic Dumpster till we hit 9:20. That'll be 3 hours on the stream. So you got anything else that you want to talk about? Now would be the time to do it, because we are going to wrap things up here shortly. There's a lot of cars on the road still for this time of night, that's for sure. We're going to Magic Dumpster. Good evening, Presley. We're gonna hang out for about 10 more minutes here, but we're gonna go hang by Magic Dumpster. I'm ready to just take a little bit of a mental streaming break. But we had a good evening, some good conversations here tonight as well. And delivery-wise has been good. We're basically $100 in 3 hours, just maybe under, maybe like 90, 96 or something like $32 an hour for the last 3 hours from 6:30 to 9:30. Or 6:20 to 9:20, I guess, technically. So pretty happy with how that turned out. I know it's going to get slow here soon, but time for me to do what my shirt says, decline and recline. All right. As has been the case recently, someone is parked in our Magic Dumpster spot. We're gonna find our own little parking spot for now for a little bit, so we can't quite see Magic Dumpster from here, unfortunately. Everybody's parking in our spot. How are you tonight, Presley? Hope that you are doing well, having a good night. Starting to get a little chilly. All right, it's recline time. Gotta do what the shirt says, decline and recline. Apparently today was economic blackout day. You weren't supposed to buy anything today to do something. I don't know what it was supposed to do. Stuff like that doesn't actually work economically. Because it only makes an economic impact if you choose not to buy something forever. But if you just didn't buy groceries today and then you're going to buy them tomorrow, it's not going to actually change anything. So alright, I don't have any orders coming through. Pretty quiet at the moment. $3 for 5 miles on Uber. We're not going to take that. We might be in that dead zone for this next half an hour. There's usually like a dead zone before the late night orders kick in. Be like 30 to 45 minutes where there's just not really separate orders and there's not really late night orders, and so we'll see. We shall see. All right. I'm getting tired because my eyes are starting to close here. But we'll hang out with you guys for 2 more minutes. So if you got anything else you want to say to the world or to me, now is the time. We're going to we'll take a break. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. I'll be on Sunday. Sunday 5 to 9. Or 5 to 8. Sorry, Sunday 5 to 8. I'm aiming for 3-hour sessions because beyond that, it just gets slow. Everybody runs out of things to say, including me. So, but hit that like, hit that subscribe. That way you'll know the next time we go live. There might be one tomorrow, but I've got a kid birthday tomorrow, so it's a birthday. I got to do some work, but it's possible it might be late night if we do it. You know, it might be like a dashing after dark sort of thing at 9 p.m. or something. And then don't forget, next weekend we change the clocks ahead. Anastasia, you just jumped on and I'm hopping off here. Yeah, I'm beat. I am beat for sure. Lumix, I think I've hit my brain capacity for the day. So, but I do appreciate everybody hanging out. Thanks for spending some time here. And like I said, I don't know about tomorrow if there'll be a ride along or not, but there should be one Sunday night. And then there'll be a few days in a row again next week because of baseball that there won't be ride alongs. Sounds good, Lumix. Have a good sleep. It's got to be late by you, so I know I'm getting tired. All right, well, with that big yawn, I think that does it for tonight. We've been on for 3 hours. We made like $96 in 3 hours. Roughly, I have a pending tip on Uber, so I don't know exactly what it is. But I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And have a great night.